Hello and welcome back to the Unknown Podcast. I am your host, Matthew Atkinson Smith, and this episode is number 17. So now, I saw this little article and it had to do with kind of like a challenge where it's like you go without your phone for a year, like a full year, and I don't know how it's really difficult to track that, but they said pretty much you give them like your cell phone and you go back to using a flip phone pretty much, but you're allowed to use like laptops and stuff like that. So that stuff's okay. It's not like you can't operate because nowadays you kind of need it. And yeah, you'll be rewarded with like $100,000 if you win this. I have no clue because I didn't read into the details. I have no clue how they're gonna like track that, but it kind of prompted the question for me to ask myself, could I live without my phone for an entire year? And no, I could not. I remember there was a period of time where in high school I forgot it at home, and it was just so hard to operate without it, because I know even though I'm going way back to high school, I'm sure there are many cases where I've needed it and not had it. It was just like I couldn't tell the time, and I couldn't text my friends for lunch, and it just kind of like threw my whole everything I was doing into disarray. Like I couldn't operate. I could literally, I had no idea what to do with myself. Like I couldn't check if I was on time for the bus. If I missed it, I couldn't see what was going on and find them or anything like that. So just, I don't know, it begs the question, like, are we too reliant on that kind of stuff? Like, think about it. Like, do you use your phone for everything nowadays? You got your apps on it to track your eating. You've got like your alarms on it. It tells you the time. No one needs to carry a watch around, even though now watches do crazy other things like take pictures and music and everything. Because you got your phone with you. You can send text messages and calls like instantly. You can Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, like research anything on the web, talk to your phone. There's just so many things you can do that if you didn't have it, like what are you gonna do? Even if you didn't have it for like say a month, I think you would be like suffering to get through that. Or you know what, it might just be like a little like kind of get used to it, kind of like figure out how to make up for all the confusion, I guess. You know, like when you start a new habit and it's kind of just like, okay, you get through the rough part and then you can just drive it home. But then again, there's some rough parts where I'm like, nah, it's not worth it. Like getting up at 4 a.m. I saw this video. It was inspired by a Marine who said like, oh yeah, I get up at 4 a.m. every morning and I start the day off with like a workout and then food, or sorry, I got that backwards. Food and then a workout, and you know, like they start the day off right in a healthy way. But at 4 a.m., like that's just nuts. I mean, they say that's like when they get their most productive work done, but I don't know, like you need to be able to fall asleep to get up at 4 a.m. And I gotta admit, like this morning, I kind of like, okay, so I didn't sleep, but usually I'm asleep, I stay up later and I'm asleep until like the afternoon, which I know isn't good, but this morning I was up like at the actual time I should be up, so like 8, 9ish, and you know, it is actually kind of nice to just go out and like look at the sky and get your like coffee or oatmeal. In my case, I had oatmeal. Get your morning ice cap, because I love ice caps. They're so good. Like they're amazing. And when I went to the US, like I missed it so much. Once I got to Canada, straight away got an ice cap. And you know what? On the topic of iPhones, going back to that, or even just phones in general, because we use them so much, and that's what I'm referring to anyways. Why do they have to come out with a new iPhone every year? Why? Like I'm thinking about Apple specifically, because every single year they come out with a new iPhone that's kind of groundbreaking in a specific way. Say it's like Touch ID or like scanning your face, which is kind of weird. I'm gonna admit that one, because like I don't want my phone to be able to scan me 24/7. That's just kind of, you know what? They listen to you too. I mean, I know people know that, and it's mainly for marketing, but like so that the apps can hear what you're searching for, or what you're talking about, and then kind of like direct it towards you. But still, like that's kind of scary. Like you got to think about who has access to that kind of stuff, and even at that, it's kind of scary. And there was even an instance, I saw an article recently with Taylor Swift, where all of the ATMs, or the kiosks, I guess, whatever, at her concert were scanning the faces of the customers to see if it could recognize any of her stalkers. And then people didn't know that they were being scanned, and then kind of raised the question of, like, if they're doing this without me knowing, like, where's it gonna go? Who's gonna see it? Like, who has access to that kind of stuff? And where's all this getting stored? Like, you know, like, it just begs all these questions. And if that's something that's happening under your nose, what else is happening under your nose? So, like, I can understand, like, you know, all these, sorry, I'm getting off track, but getting back to the whole thing, like, the whole new iPhone thing, it's a little insane, because they're doing the most to try to separate themselves and make themselves, like, seem groundbreaking, like they're the ones setting the trends. Because iPhones, or Apple in general, really likes to, like, set the trend and have people follow it. They like to have things their way or the highway, you know? So yeah, it's kind of getting to a point where it's, like, really, like, they're looking for new ways to break through and, like, try something new, like getting rid of the phone jack, or the headphone jack. But at the same time, like, is it really necessary? And if you look at it, like, a lot of these features, or a lot of, like, the new updates or whatever, they're really buggy at first because they don't work it through all the way. I mean, I'm sure they spent a lot of time on it, but definitely not enough time on, like, what's important, like making sure it works properly before releasing it. Like, I'm sure they just want to get it out there because it's like, oh, like, look at what we did this entire year. But at the same time, is that really necessary, is what I'm trying to say. Like, it seems like they could be working towards, like, things that actually make the phone more useful than things that make the phone seem cooler, like those little emoji things that, like, look at your face and you can, you know, they can mimic it, and you can have, like, a little emoji face on the phone. Like, come on, is that really necessary when you could be working on, like, getting, like, unlimited storage on, like, unlimited storage on, like, online cloud things or whatever? I sound like an old person explaining technology. But I know that the Google phone, like the Pixel, I think it's called, you know what, I don't remember what it's called. Anyways, the Google phone is able to have unlimited storage because it just stores it all online. And I think that's pretty cool. Like, what, you know what, that's groundbreaking in a way. But then again, like, what do you use all those photos for? You take photos and on photos on photos. You have millions of photos. What are you going to use them for? To post them? To look back at them? There's no way you're going to be looking back through millions of photos. And I find that concept really weird, but at the same time, like, I'm guilty of it too. I take tons of photos, and I do like looking back at them, but only once in a blue moon. And honestly, like, if you had a hard drive, you could literally just store them on the hard drive. There's no reason to have them all on your phone. But I totally understand why you would, because, like, I'm the same. I'm a consumer, and I like my things on my phone. Like, I like to have all my music, all my games, all my photos, all my videos. Like, I like to have all that stuff, so I understand where they're coming from. And I also understand why you would want the new phone. Like, it's so much money to just that they're gonna make from, like, throwing out new features and being like, oh, here's the new iPhone, come get it. And people just come flocking to the new and the newest and the most upgraded, because who doesn't like the newest and the most upgraded? I mean, I know I just, like, when I see my phone can't do something, and I see another phone that looks amazing and it can do the thing I want it to do, of course I'm gonna want it. And even me, like, my laptop is not the best. I've been looking at Macs just because everyone's been using them. It kind of, like, begged the question, why is everyone using them? Is it really that good? And then I kind of looked into it, and I guess it's like a give and a take. Like, you could have like, since I have mostly Apple products, like, I could have that, like, the capability to, like, play my AirPods on my laptop, or, like, get text from my laptop. But then again, there's, like, learning a whole different programming and stuff. Like, the way that Mac is set up is completely different from what I'm used to, so I'd have to get used to that. But then there is the added fact that, like, if I got the Pro, which is the more expensive version, unfortunately, I'd be able to do, like, all my editing stuff, and it could handle it, unlike what I have right now. So that's kind of, like, what I'm thinking. But I know a lot of people don't like how they kind of have it, like, my way or the highway. I don't know. I think they should, going back to what I was saying earlier, spend more time on, like, the important things instead of just throwing features out there and trying to gain attention and sell as many phones as they can. You know, I mean, hey, I get the whole selling as many phones as you can thing, but it's getting to a point where like less people are going out and flocking to get the new one because it's just too expensive. And like, I know you want to be groundbreaking, but come on now, like people can't afford that. I mean, hey, there are people that can, but like not everyone can, is my main point there. So this is kind of like off of that topic, but I was also looking at online, doing my, you know, normal searches, and I came across this new type of edible water balls that they're developing. And I know that sounds really weird, but it's literally like a ball, and it has this it's got this like outer layer that's used by they take seaweed and they make this like outer layer. I don't know, it's clear, right? So all you have to do is peel it off, and then it's literally like you like put it in your mouth and it's water. And it could make it easier for like athletes and stuff like that to just take these little balls of water with them, like when, let's say you're running a marathon, you're like, oh, a ball of water, not a bottle, sorry, a ball, because then it gets rid of the whole need for like water bottles and stuff like that, and it's all it's seaweed, so it's not like a plastic water bottle, you know, less weight. And speaking of less weights, I can't speak. Actually, I did see this thing where it was they're making roads out of plastic now, to try to like reuse all of the plastic that's there from like the dump or whatever, so they can take, and it's actually, it lasts longer than asphalt, yes, it lasts longer. It's made out of they're literally reusing plastic, so think about it, it's like it's better for the environment, and it's more affordable if you think about it, because it's cheaper. You're literally reusing things, plastic that is, and it lasts longer, so like that's pretty neat. Now another thing I kind of wanted to touch on is I actually left a horror movie not even halfway through this week, or last week. It was last week. But the thing is, like, I've always like stayed until the end, except for this time. I went with my girlfriend to see The Possession of Hannah Grace, which is a movie I was gonna go see with my roommates, but we were like, no, it's too late, and you know what? Not everyone here is good with horror movies, which, hey, I mean, I'm not the best, as you can tell by the fact that I left. And the thing is, like, I thought I was gonna be able to handle it, but I just can't handle that gruesome, like, it was like really detailed, like cuts and like just scratches and burns, and I just couldn't handle that. Like, I can handle like the spooky like ghosts and possession type stuff, like I can, that's kind of scary after the movie, but you know what, I can handle it during the movie. And then so after that I started thinking about how like when you're a kid and you think all evil is just gonna go away as soon as you pull the covers. It's like, whatever it is. You know what? I used to think a robber would come into the house. I don't know why. Or you know what? I had a phobia of gremlins. And I thought gremlins were gonna come in. It's like, you know what? As soon as I put myself under the covers, like, that's it. That's it. They can't get me anymore. I'm safe. You know, I did it. And if you have your feet out, then your feet are gone, okay? There's no looking back, okay? You're not surviving that. I just thought that was kind of funny. Another thing, actually, I know I'm saying quite a bit, but I actually found out a fact about sharks, which I love. And that is that they enter a trance when you flip them upside down, or flip them over onto their back. And killer whales, actually, it's been discovered by killer whales flipping over sharks. It's a trance called tonic immobility, and it's so sick, because if you think about it, like, it's literally like you can put them to sleep just by flipping them. But I don't know why I found that so interesting. I did. And it kind of like, on the topic of animals, dogs licking their owner's face. I'm gonna say it straight up, that's nasty. Like, I know people that do it. I have family that do it. It's gross. Every time I see it, I'm like, why are you doing that? Why are you letting your dog lick your face? Look, okay. Lick your face is one thing. There are people that give their dogs like kisses. Like, their dogs are licking their like, ew, like even just explaining it's disgusting. In my opinion. you know what? I'm not gonna judge you. I'm gonna judge you a little bit because I think it's gross, but I don't know. That's a no. I got hate, and people use the argument, oh, like their mouths are sanitary because it's like it cleans itself or whatever. But nah, that's just gross. I'm sticking by my statement that letting your dog lick your face, that's just weird. And you know what? Speaking of like animals and like scary movies and all these things, oh my goodness, we had okay, whoa, let's back up here for a second. I saw this video and it scared the hell out of me, because if there's one thing I'm scared of, and it's not this movie that I ran it almost halfway through, it's things going in your ears. Like, oh my god, that's the freakiest thing. Just thinking, like, while you're sleeping, something's going in your ear. And I've seen videos of like ticks and stuff like that, or even, oh my goodness, videos where you see something crawling out. Like, that's the scariest thing. That is the scariest thing. When I hear like horror stories, which I have, of things like going in and nesting, like, that's freaky. That is so freaky. And especially ticks. Like, I saw a picture of a tick when it's like digging itself into your skin, and that's just nasty. Like, I don't screw with it. That's just some like screwed up stuff. And we actually had like a fruit fly like invasion, where, you know, I thought fruit flies were only supposed to last a day, but these things were here for a freaking while, and they were just everywhere, all over. And it's not like they do any harm, like they don't hurt you, but just having them buzz around, oh my goodness, it drives you insane. Like, you know how they say it's not like that little fly that just won't leave you alone? Yes, it's like that. Only I'd say flies are worse than fruit flies, just because they make that annoying buzzing sound where it makes you want to like just explode. But no, yeah, I would definitely say flies are worse. But fruit flies, damn, they're so freaking annoying. It is insane. It's actually insane. On that topic, we were playing, I was playing with my roommates this game. It's called Headbands. And you pretty much just have to like ask questions and try to, like, yes or no questions, and try to figure out what you have on the card facing away from you, like on your headband. And a lot of them were animals, and it's the most frustrating thing when you can't get it, let me tell you. But anyways, thinking of animals and everything, I wanted to just kind of like lay out the best animals, because one of my friends, I'm not gonna name names, said goats aren't cute or like cool, or like they're an ugly animal. I just gotta scratch that off the record, because goats are freaking awesome. Okay, they can climb. I just learned yesterday they can swim. They can stick to like mountains. They can ram things. They are the cutest. They when they run, and then they just like, if you scare them or spook them or whatever, they just like freeze and like fall over. It's adorable. Oh, and if you want to see the coolest thing, goats with glasses, it'll make your day. So I'm gonna name the top 5. Let's see. Okay, sharks, because they're just amazing and awesome and majestic and giant and cool. Okay, and they never stop moving. How cool is that? They never stop swimming. Okay, they're just so cool. Okay, definitely not biased, but anyways, number 1, sharks. Number 2, goats. I just named all the cool reasons why. Number 3, pigs. Okay, pigs are underrated. They're so adorable. Look up a baby pig in boots. You won't be disappointed. It's actually the cutest thing. So, okay, we got sharks, we got goats, we got pigs. Now, I'm gonna put cats, okay? Like, all you cat haters, everyone who thinks dogs are better, I get it. I love dogs too. I have dogs. Cats are just the best, okay? Like, I know sometimes they have that personality where you're like, oh, this is annoying. Cats are the best, just face it. And then I'm gonna have to go with wolves, because they're just so cool, okay? Wolves are pack, like, they have a pack, they've got a formula, and they're just badass, and they just know what they're doing. So I'm gonna give that the 5. You know, that's the 5 best animals. Okay, I've kind of rambled on quite a bit, so with that, I will end this podcast. It's been a great episode, and I will see you in the next one.